Hey friends, let's talk about heartbreak. It's messy, it's painful, and it can make even the strongest among us feel lost. And in the depths of that pain, you might have heard about the so-called 30-day no-contact rule. It sounds like a lifeline, right? A step-by-step guide to get your ex back. Cut off communication, block them, wait for them to notice your absence, and just like that, they'll come running back. But let me tell you something raw and honest. This rule is not the magic solution it's hyped up to be. It's not a ticket to reconciliation or healing. In fact, it's often the opposite. A trap that keeps you stuck in the past, clinging to the hope that someone else holds the key to your happiness. I want you to pause for a moment and reflect on this. Do you really believe your worth, your healing, and your future should depend on whether someone misses you? Or should it come from a place within you, a place that no one can take away? Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, once said, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." So, let's stop waiting for someone else to make the move. Let's shift our focus to where it truly belongs, you. Here's the harsh truth most people won't tell you. The no-contact rule feeds into the illusion of control. It tricks you into thinking that silence will magically erase the issues that led to the breakup in the first place. But relationships aren't built on games or silence. They're built on trust, understanding, and mutual respect. And none of that can be forced or fabricated by a rule. You don't need 30 days of silence to show your worth. Your worth is already infinite, and the right people will see it without you having to play mind games. What you need is to take control of your narrative, to wake up every day with the affirmation that you are enough as you are. So, I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. I choose myself today. Say it, believe it, and live it. Because when you focus on building your best self, you create a life so full, so vibrant, that anyone who walks away will feel the void, not you. In today's video, we're diving deep into why the no-contact rule isn't just ineffective. It's harmful. And more importantly, we'll explore how you can rise above it using the wisdom of Stoic philosophy and the power of self-empowerment. This is about reclaiming your strength and letting go of anything that no longer serves you. Let's dive in and start rewriting your story, one step at a time. Number 1, the myth of the 30-day no-contact rule. All right, friends, let's talk about the infamous 30-day no-contact rule and why it's a myth that holds so many people back. At first glance, it sounds like a brilliant strategy. Cut off all communication with your ex for 30 days, and they'll suddenly realize how much they miss you, right? They'll come running back, and everything will magically fall into place. But here's the truth. It doesn't work that way. The 30-day rule is a game, and relationships aren't meant to be games. They're built on trust, respect, and emotional connection, not manipulation. The idea that ignoring someone will force them to miss you might seem tempting when you're hurting, but in reality, it shifts your focus away from where it needs to be yourself. Think about it. When you follow this rule, you're essentially putting your happiness, your healing, and your entire sense of worth into someone else's hands. You're waiting, hoping, and obsessing over their next move. Will they text? Will they call? Will they miss you? This mindset is exhausting, and worse, it keeps you trapped in the past. Marcus Aurelius, the great Stoic philosopher, put it best. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The wisdom in these words is simple yet profound. You cannot control what someone else does, but you can control how you respond, and that response can define your peace and your path forward. Instead of focusing on what your ex might or might not feel, turn that energy inward. Ask yourself, what do I need to heal? What can I do today to grow? How can I reclaim my power? These are the questions that truly matter. They shift the narrative from them to you, where it should be. Waiting for someone else to validate your worth diminishes your strength. It's like standing at a locked door, hoping for someone else to open it, when all along you hold the key to walk through another. True power comes from letting go of what you can't control and embracing what you can, yourself. Let me be clear. The goal isn't to ignore your pain or pretend the breakup didn't hurt. It's about acknowledging that pain, sitting with it, and using it as fuel for growth. Every day is an opportunity to rebuild yourself into someone stronger, wiser, and more self-assured. So if you find yourself tempted to play the 30-day no-contact game, stop. Instead of counting days on a calendar, count the moments you choose yourself. Instead of waiting for a text, create a life so full that you don't need one to feel whole. Here's an affirmation for you to drop in the comments. I take back my power today. Write it, believe it, live it. Because the only person who can define your happiness is you. Remember, your peace and your worth are not negotiable. Don't give them away to someone else. Instead, take this moment to step into your strength, one decision at a time. That's where your true power lies. Number 2, shift your focus from them to you. After a breakup, it's natural to replay every moment and wonder what the other person is doing. Are they thinking about me? Do they miss me? But this fixation isn't love, it's self-abandonment. You're placing all your energy on someone else, forgetting the most important person in this story, you. This is the time to reclaim your power, not waste it chasing thoughts that only keep you stuck. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So, what are you thinking right now? Are your thoughts helping you grow or holding you hostage to the past? The truth is, focusing on your ex gives them control over your emotions. You're waiting for their next move, their text, their call. But life isn't a chess game where you sit frozen, hoping they make the first move. It's a canvas, and every choice you make adds color to your story. So, why let someone else hold the brush? Shift your attention back to yourself. Ask, what can I do today that brings me joy? It could be as simple as going for a walk, starting a new book, or diving into a hobby you've neglected. Each action you take is a small victory, a declaration that you are moving forward. This is also the perfect time to grow. Hit the gym not just for the physical benefits, but because it reminds you of your strength. Journal your thoughts and rediscover who you are outside of this relationship. Take a class, learn a new skill, or work on a passion project. When you invest in yourself, you're telling the world and yourself that you're worthy of the best life has to offer. Emotionally, this shift is liberating. It's not about pretending the breakup didn't hurt. It's about choosing to heal instead of staying in the pain. Surround yourself with people who uplift you. Seek moments that fill your soul with peace and happiness. Rebuild the connection you have with yourself, because that's the foundation for everything else in your life. Remember this, the best revenge isn't making them miss you, it's making yourself proud. When you focus on your own growth and happiness, you radiate confidence. And confidence isn't just attractive, it's unshakable. Drop this affirmation in the comments. I am the architect of my own future. My value isn't tied to anyone else's choices. Let this be your daily reminder that your worth is innate and independent of anyone else's actions. You don't need to wait for someone to return to feel complete. You're already whole, capable, and deserving of love and joy. Take this moment to focus on your journey, and you'll discover that the love you've been seeking starts within you. This is your time to shine. Don't let anyone dim your light. Number 3, own your value. Don't seek external validation. Your worth is not up for negotiation. It doesn't depend on who loves you, who stays, or who leaves. You are not a reflection of someone else's ability or inability to see your value. You exist as you are, complete, deserving, and whole. Too often, we make the mistake of measuring ourselves through someone else's eyes. We think, if they come back, I must be worth something. If they choose me, then I matter. But that mindset gives others far too much power over your life. Your value was never tied to their opinion. It was always within you. Marcus Aurelius once said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you allow your thoughts to be painted by someone else's rejection or indifference, you'll lose sight of your true self. But when you begin to shape your thoughts with self-respect and self-love, you reclaim your identity. Here's the truth. You don't need anyone to validate you. You were born worthy. Your worth is not something that fluctuates based on who notices you, who texts you, or who decides to stay. You were whole before they came into your life, and you will remain whole long after they leave. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you validated yourself? When did you last say, "I am enough just as I am"? Because that's where the healing begins. Take a moment, right now, and drop this affirmation in the comments. I am worthy, just as I am. I do not need anyone's validation to know that I matter. But don't stop there. Let your actions reflect that belief. Set boundaries with people who don't respect you. Stop chasing validation from those who didn't appreciate you in the first place. Instead, pour that energy into becoming the best version of yourself, because you deserve it. Invest in your growth. Start a project you've been putting off. Dive into your passions. Hit the gym, take a class, or journal your thoughts. Every small step you take reinforces this truth. Your life is about you. It's about your happiness, your peace, and your future. When you own your value, something magical happens. You stop attracting people who drain you, and you start drawing in those who see you for who you are. Confidence isn't about being boastful. It's about quietly knowing you're enough. And trust me, that kind of energy is magnetic. Remember this, you don't need anyone else to confirm what's already true. You are valuable, not because of what others see, but because of what you are. Stand tall, own your worth, and let the world adjust to your strength. You've got this. Number 4, release attachments to the past and step into your power. It's natural to feel tied to the past after a significant relationship ends. Your mind replays the memories like a favorite song stuck on repeat. You wonder, what if I had done things differently? Or, what if they change their mind and come back? These thoughts might feel comforting, but in truth, they are holding you hostage. Here's the hard truth, the past cannot be rewritten. No amount of what-ifs can undo what's already happened. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Lose yourself in the present moment and be at peace with the present task." It's a reminder that your true power lies in what you choose to do right now, not in what's already been done. Letting go of the past isn't about forgetting, it's about acceptance. Acceptance that things unfolded the way they did, for reasons that may not fully make sense yet. It's about recognizing that clinging to old hurts and outdated hopes only robs you of your ability to create a better future. Think of it like carrying a heavy backpack filled with stones. Each stone represents regrets, unanswered questions, and unfulfilled hopes. The longer you carry it, the more it weighs you down. But when you finally let go, when you release those attachments, you free yourself to walk lighter, faster, and with greater purpose. Forgiveness is a big part of this process, not for them, for you. Forgiving doesn't mean condoning their actions or erasing the pain they caused. It means choosing peace over resentment. It means no longer giving them the power to occupy your mind rent-free. Start by shifting your focus from why it happened to what you can do now. The energy you're spending on analyzing the past could be channeled into building a brighter future. Invest in yourself. Redefine your goals. Explore your passions. The time and energy you pour into yourself are never wasted. They're the building blocks of the life you deserve. And let's talk about healing. Healing doesn't mean pretending everything is okay. It means allowing yourself to feel the pain, process it, and then let it pass through you. Stop revisiting old memories like a book you've read 100 times. Close the chapter. Trust that the story ahead will be even better. You're not the same person you were back then, and that's a good thing. You've grown, you've learned, you're stronger now. It's time to honor that growth by stepping into your power. Here's an affirmation to anchor your new mindset. I release the past and embrace the power of the present. My future is mine to create. Drop this affirmation in the comments and say it out loud every day. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. Let go of the weight, stand tall, and walk confidently toward the life you're meant to live. Number 5. Let go of the fantasy. After a breakup, the mind plays tricks on you. It magnifies the good moments and conveniently pushes the bad ones into the shadows. You start weaving a story, a beautiful, idealized version of the relationship that never truly existed. This fantasy becomes a comfort, a safe space to escape the pain of reality. But here's the hard truth. That story is a lie, and it's keeping you stuck. You might catch yourself thinking, maybe we were perfect together. Or, if only we could go back, things would be different. But ask yourself honestly, was it really perfect? Was it truly the relationship you deserved? Deep down, you know the answer. The cracks were there, the pain was real, and holding on to this fantasy isn't serving your growth. It's prolonging your suffering. The Stoics remind us of the power of living in truth. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That fantasy you're clinging to? It's the very thing standing in the way of your healing. Letting go of it doesn't mean erasing the memories or dismissing the love you shared. It means choosing to face life as it is, not as you wish it to be. One of the most effective ways to break free from the fantasy is to stop feeding it. Take a step back from their social media profiles. Every scroll, every picture, every update you see only adds fuel to a fire that needs to be extinguished. Their life, their relationships, their choices, they're no longer your concern. Shift the focus to yourself. Start investing in your growth. Revisit dreams you put on hold or create new ones. Surround yourself with people who uplift you and remind you of your worth. Pour your energy into things that make you feel alive, whether it's fitness, learning a new skill, or simply spending time in nature. Acceptance of reality isn't giving up. It's freeing yourself to move forward. Stop clinging to the story of what could have been. and start writing the story of what will be. Because the truth is, the only relationship you need to repair right now is the one you have with yourself. Say it aloud. I release the fantasy of the past and embrace the freedom of the present. Reality is where your power lies. Step into it and watch yourself rise. Number 6. Take radical responsibility for your life. In moments of heartbreak, it's tempting to point fingers at your ex, at life, at fate. But deep down, you know that blaming others won't change anything. True transformation begins when you take full ownership of your situation and your response to it. This isn't about blaming yourself, it's about stepping into your power. Seneca, the Stoic philosopher, wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Think about that for a moment. The pain you're feeling right now isn't just about the breakup itself. It's the stories you're telling yourself, the endless what-ifs, the imagined scenarios where they come back, the belief that your happiness depends on someone else's choices. This mental suffering is within your control to change. Radical responsibility means acknowledging that while you can't control what happened, you can control what happens next. Will you let this moment break you, or will you use it as a stepping stone to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient? Start with one deliberate action that aligns with reclaiming your power. It doesn't have to be monumental. Stand tall, take a deep breath, and choose something that brings clarity or peace. Maybe it's organizing your desk, journaling your thoughts, or stepping outside to reconnect with nature. These simple acts aren't just tasks. They're quiet declarations of your strength. Each one whispers to your soul, "I'm in charge of my life, and I'm taking it back, step by step." Keep building on these small moments, and soon they'll create a path to the transformation you deserve. When you take responsibility, you stop waiting for others to fix things or for life to magically improve. Instead, you create your own path. The power is already within you. It's just waiting for you to claim it. This isn't just about healing from a breakup. It's about reclaiming your life. What are the dreams you set aside? What passions have been neglected? This is your time to rediscover them. Open that book you've always wanted to read. Take that class you've been curious about, or reconnect with hobbies that bring you joy. Say it with me. I am in control of my life. My happiness is my responsibility. Drop this affirmation in the comments to solidify it. Taking radical responsibility isn't easy, but it's the key to freedom. The moment you stop waiting for others to rescue you and decide to rescue yourself, you'll feel the weight begin to lift. The future is yours to shape, starting now. So, the 30-day no-contact rule is nothing but a distraction. It's a way for you to avoid facing the truth. You have the power to move on, to heal, and to create a life that's not dependent on anyone else. You control your emotions. You control your worth. You control your future. Don't give that power to anyone else. If this video resonated with you, hit the like button, subscribe, and drop a comment telling me one thing you're doing to take your power back. And remember, you are enough, right now as you are. Don't let anyone or anything make you forget that. Stay strong, stay empowered, and go live your best life. I'll see you in the next one.